The Silence. Let's talk about it. It stars Stanley Tucci, who I big things up. Kiernan Shipka. I'm probably saying her name wrong, which sucks because I love her as an actress. She's from Black Coat's Daughter, and most well known for Sabrina, and she's from Mad Men too. Miranda Otto, who is also from Sabrina. I didn't not like this movie, but I didn't love it. To start, it's pretty clear that you can compare this to The Quiet Place, because both involve a family trying to survive against these creatures that hunt based on sound, so, you know, the silence, you gotta keep quiet. The Quiet Place similarities are obviously there. You can't escape that. But I won't compare it to A Quiet Place, and I won't call this a ripoff, because this is based off the novel, which came out before A Quiet Place. So this isn't a knockoff in my eyes, because it's based off the thing that came first. To each our own. But I can totally see why some people would call it a knockoff. And to start off, the good things, the acting. All the cast is great. I like watching them all. I personally didn't like fall in love with any of the characters. But yeah, the acting all around is pretty solid. The creature designs are cool, but the only issue, and it's a pretty big one throughout because you see them so often, which I also like, you see them quite often, is that the CGI on them isn't great. Like, it's decent at best. And I guess they made this movie with a small budget, but Netflix funded it. So I was assuming that they would, put more money forward to make the creatures look better, but Netflix is kind of weird about funding certain things and whatnot. I like The Quiet Place more. I also didn't love that movie, but I liked it. But this had some aspects I liked more that I'll get into right now. This shows the beginning of it, which I always found like zombie apocalypse movies or like earthquake, tornado, natural disaster, giant monster attack movies better when you see the beginning, like Cloverfield, because I personally like seeing how the humans react to it, or the characters react to it, and I really dug that in this, especially because this movie does something that I never understood why so many of these type of films shy away from it. Mild spoiler. It's not even a mild. It's an offshoot scene and the first, half hour probably. But basically, these people are stuck on this train. Not the family. It's just a random cutaway shot. And this baby starts crying. And the people in the train are like, look, that baby gots to go, or that baby is going to get us all killed. And they force the mother and the baby off the train. Yeah, I'm like, thank you, because so many films don't show that. And in the real world, spoiler alert, people are assholes. People and our bodies and minds are trained, or not trained, but our bodies and mind will instantly say, look, you need to survive, get that child off this train now. And I like that. And there's a few scenes like that where people act the way real people would. Like, in this world, no one would want to stay around a baby, because they're noisy. Those are like the two big pluses, is the world is cool, the acting is all pretty solid. The negatives, the film's like really dark, and I don't mean that in like people die, it's super dark and gritty and it's just a really muddy black and gray film. There's not really much of a color palette, and that muddy tone throughout. What's this film, an hour and a half almost, 2 hours maybe? It's kind of bland to see after a while. The pacing is a little off. random good thing. There's this subplot near, I don't know, probably last half hour that I really dug, because I could see people in the real world doing this, but I know a lot of people that I follow and read don't like this, but I dug it. Back to the negatives. There's a romance subplot between the female lead and her friend. It's like a romance friendship subplot. It doesn't really help the movie at all, but it doesn't really hurt the movie. It's just there, and it feels like it's just there to like have a romance in it, since so many films need a romance story. I didn't mind it, but it's not needed. And it's shot pretty generically. It's from the same guy that did freaking Annabelle, which I didn't like the first one. I'm not a fan of it at all. But yeah, The Silence, it has its ups and downs. It has great acting, cool creatures, cool world. The negs, it's super muddy, it's dark, the pacing's a little The two subplots people might hate. I didn't like the one, I like the other. But at the end of the day, I still think it's worth a watch, especially if you like The Quiet Place. You might like this if you don't openly compare it to it, which I tried my best not to. But it is what it is. Like always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.